session, we're all gonna learn how to line dance. I mean, I'm just kidding, but okay, so when you're traveling in pairs or when you're with your sisters, there's always one person in the group who knows where the meeting is and can find their room key. If you're that person in your group, stand up. We thank you so much for your service. If you're the person in your group who brings all the fun but tries to pay for your drink with your driver's license, please stand up. I see you. I love you. I am so happy to be here with you. I am a traditionally trained family doctor. Yep. Yep, and the first medical training meeting that I went to, there was all these, this was like 25 years ago, so there's all these guys in suits, and I walk in a sundress and wedges, and a really cute bag with a pack full of highlighters and colored pens. So I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I found my people with Young Living. Thank you so much. Okay. I have to officially say, Young Living has prepared an income disclosure statement designed to convey truthful, timely, and comprehensive information about the income that its brand partners can earn. The IDS is a tool that assists its members to understand the income opportunity. This is a reflection of the work and time and energy it takes, which can be a lot. The opinions expressed in this presentation are solely my own and do not represent Young Living. Young Living does not endorse, is not responsible, and makes no representations or warranties regarding such content or its accuracy. I encourage you to verify the explanations and opinions presented. Young Living shall not be liable for any harm resulting from my cowboy boots or in connection with or reliance on any such content. Okay, here we go. I found Young Living after practicing traditional medicine for 10 years. I fell down the most wonderful rabbit hole of discovery when I found this company. And you guys, here's how amazing this is. I retired my medical license to do this. That's how much I believe in our products. That's how much they've changed my life. I am so thankful for this company. So let me say that one more time. I retired my medical license, and I cannot think of one place on earth that I would rather be today than with the most amazing, intentional, wellness-seeking, loving people that I have ever met. As a family doctor who spent years, literally so many years, learning and training in a system of sick care, I had a lot to learn about wellness. And Young Living has changed the trajectory of my life in such dramatic ways. And telling this story will never get old for me. In 2004, after a house fire ravaged my home and left us all reeling and devastated, not too long after that, my own house crashed, my own health crashed. And I knew that I wanted something different than what I had seen. Thank heavens above, a dear friend of mine told me about this amazing red drink and these little mysterious bottles of weirdo oils. She said they had helped her in so many ways, and she just kept sharing. And you know what she wasn't afraid of? She wasn't afraid of that I was a doctor. She just shared with me because they had been helping her. And I will tell you this, 9 years later, I feel better than I ever have. I have a fire in my bones to help other people on their journey to wellness, purpose, and abundance. I seriously can't imagine my life without the miracle that I've experienced in the last 9 years with this company. So buckle up, because we are gonna ignite your business. I hope that you leave this talk so inspired about your life and so inspired about your business. My life has been marked by fire, maybe more than most. I experienced my first house fire at age 5. A fire, they say, my daddy started. And 40 years later, I watched my own house burn to the ground. 3 days before Christmas in 2010, our house caught on fire in the middle of the night. We barely got our family out, and I sat on that cold, wet grass on a December morning and watched the sidewalls to everything we had ever owned cave in. I know a thing or two about loss and devastation and rebuilding and rebirth. Some of us are here today with businesses that feel like they've been a little bit on fire. We feel hurt, betrayed maybe, disappointed, maybe at a loss for where to go now and what to do. And if that's you, I see you. I have so much compassion for you, for us. It's been rough on so many fronts in the last few years. But I also believe in my bones that we were made for this. I have seen so much beauty and so much hope rise up from those ashes. Too many times to count now. And I have some real encouragement for you today. I'm older than most of you, I'm guessing, so I'm gonna boss you like a big sister. When I started Young Living, I quickly built a multi-six-figure network marketing business and went on to build a thriving coaching business. And I'm here to tell you something. People need what we have. And they need it now more than ever. They're hurting. They need us. Their health is not where it should be. Their finances are a mess. They're losing hope. And we have help for them. We have let this fire of our business define us over the past couple of years. And it's time that we, on purpose, redefine it. We redefine what we want the past few years to mean. It's time to stop being consumed by what has been lost and to start growing ourselves and our businesses so that we can help the people we're meant to help. Today, I want to help you find your fire again. I want to help you ignite your business and ignite your life in a way that you've maybe never seen before. And I have 3 strategies to help you do that. The first one is this: harness the power of your beautiful mind. In East Tennessee, we would say, get your mind right. Your mind is a modern miracle. You think 60,000 thoughts a day, but some of those thoughts you focus on more than others. And those thoughts are powerful. They're powerful because those thoughts eventually become your life. You are living today the result of the thoughts you've been having over the past few months. And we let those thoughts go unexamined. So many of them are unconscious, and they're wreaking havoc on our lives and our businesses and even our health. Let me illustrate this to you. I want you to think about it. If you have a piece of paper, write it down. What's the main thought you've been having about your business for the past 6 months? Now, I have spent the last few weeks surveying so many Young Living leaders, so I asked them, how's it going in your business? What's your main thought about your business in the last few months? And here are some of the things that I heard. I don't even know where to start anymore. We feel stuck. I can't seem to grow. Every day it feels like we're losing ground. It's harder to market. Nobody's paying attention. Our products aren't selling like they were. It feels hard to get people interested in the business. Raise your hand really, really high if you've thought those thoughts. And if you don't raise your hand, you're probably lying because it's been easy to think those thoughts, right? And I get it. I'm a mindset coach, and we can't mindset our way out of what happened. Just like I couldn't mindset my way out of a house that burned down. But what I do get to decide is what I make it mean. And when my house first burned down, my life before that had had such hard parts that I thought to myself, maybe this is what I deserve. Bad things like this always happen to me. maybe my life is cursed. And it's so easy to tell yourself a story that isn't true. And here's the amazing thing. You have the power to rewrite that story. You have the power to decide what you want to make it mean. The thoughts that I had about my house were more painful than the walls falling down. We can rebuild the house. And what I learned is that I have the power to decide what I make that mean. What we can do is decide on purpose. How do we respond to what has happened? How do we want to move forward? It's so funny when I watched the videos today of Gary. I cried all morning in the session today because I have spent the last year practicing the thought, everywhere I look, I see miracles. And in that second video, when Gary said, life is just full of miracles, they're everywhere. And you know what I learned how to see? This woke me up to my life in ways nothing else could. That was a miracle. That was a gift to me. And I stopped believing the lies that were defeating me and making me sad and making me disappointed. When you keep having defeating thoughts and you keep focusing on those over and over, they cause you so much pain and so much overwhelm. They bring defeat to your business, to your life. And you can find plenty of evidence for how it's true. Did my house actually burn down? Yes. But I get to decide, is that a gift that will wake me up to the miracle of my life for the next 20 or 30 years? That's what I decided to make it mean. So when you look around at your life and your business, you guys, let me tell you, I've been in medicine for years. I've tried other businesses. There's nothing like what we have anywhere else. So you get to decide what you focus on, and what you focus on grows. So there are thoughts that keep you stuck. There are thoughts that keep you focused on what's not working. There are thoughts that keep you complaining. There are thoughts that keep you comparing yourself. And it doesn't matter if you can find evidence for how those thoughts are true. The question is, are they serving you? Are they helping you grow your business? Are they producing income for you and your family? So instead of obsessing about what we've lost, what if we got obsessed about the people we're supposed to help? There are people out there who need what we have. What if we got obsessed with them? How we could reach them, how we could teach them about our products. What if we got obsessed about how to get our message out? When you keep focusing on what you don't have, you get more of what you don't want. Let me say that again. When you keep focusing on what you don't have, you get more of what you don't want. You create your life in your mind first. And you get to choose your thoughts. Now, your brain is wired to keep you safe, so it will keep telling you all kinds of things to think. But you get to decide what you focus on. Your brain will often offer you things to keep you safe, to keep you from sharing. It will remind you of what has been lost. And you keep bringing it back to the life and business you want to create. Yes, the market is different. Yes, the landscape of online selling is changing. You know what that means? We got to get better. We got to get more skilled. We got to get more passionate. We have to get on fire again for ways that we can help. And what if we decided to practice thoughts that have us serving people at the highest level? What if you practice thoughts that help you grow your team? What if you practice thoughts that have you sharing your story? What if you truly, down deep in your bones, believed that other people need what you have? Because here's what hasn't changed. People want health. They want to feel good. They want wellness. If we don't have that, we don't have anything. And I come from a business model where we can't help people do that. Here, we can help people do that. People desperately need purpose in their lives, and our business model offers it in spades. How many of you have felt so filled up this week, so full of purpose, so full of joy, so full of meaning? How many of you thought of people who need this? They need to be here. They need to be sitting here with us. More than ever, people need it. And you know what else they need? They need another stream of income. They need the abundance that this business can provide. And the question is, have we stopped believing? Personally, I'll never get tired of trying to figure out how to share our products better, how to talk to people in a way they understand, how to care about people, how to get in their homes, how to get them in my home, how to get in front of them. But you have to believe that what you're sharing matters. You have to believe in what you're doing. What do you want to believe about your business? You've been telling yourself stories that probably aren't serving you. What do you want to believe? What do you want to cultivate? How do you want to grow that belief? Because no one can do this for you. Not corporate, not your upline, not your downline. And listen, when I joined in 2014, we were flying. It was easy to believe back then. Everybody was signing up. It was so easy to do what we do. OGV was growing. But you know what? The kind of belief that you cultivate in times like that is cheap because it doesn't require you to grow. And what I'm interested in is, what do we believe when the house is on fire? What do you believe when your upline leaves? What do you believe when your favorite corporate person goes somewhere else? And what do you believe when you lose the man who built this amazing, amazing community? Because what you believe then is what matters. That is where true servants are born. So ask yourself, what has your business house been made of? Was it built on a firm foundation of belief in what we do and why we do it? And that what we have to offer people matters? Or was it built on a quick chase for $1 that we could make? I know that those of you who are still in this room believe in what we're doing. In 2010, our house burned for days. A week after the walls caved in, the only thing that was left standing was a chimney that just swayed in the wind. And when the excavators came to do the demolition, they pushed the chimney over, and those bricks that chimney was made of, my daughters and I went and collected and saved so that we could use those bricks to build the new hearth of our house. And today, my home is such a safe place in a world that feels like it literally is on fire. It has weathered so many storms, and when I sit in front of my fireplace and I look at those bricks, I'm so thankful for the wake-up call that I got on that December morning. It took me a while after the loss to realize that everything that mattered was still with me. My kids, my health, the love we have for each other. We rebuilt our home. We rebuilt our lives with more intention than ever. And I can promise you something. People accuse me all the time of wearing rose-colored glasses. Guilty. I don't take any of this for granted. And in 2014, when I joined Young Living, it felt like we were always winning the lottery. But that's not where true leaders are made. True leaders are made in the fire. And this story, my friends, is not over. Your thoughts can either heal you or poison you. The thoughts that you think over and over every day rewire your actual brain. They're powerful, and it's time to let go of old, worn-out stories that are keeping us stuck, of thoughts about who you are and what you are capable of in this business. Stop it. Stop believing those lies. Stop letting the past define you. Stop letting resentments poison you. Stop making excuses and start making a way. You get to decide who you want to be, and it's time that the pure gold that is inside of you comes out. It's time to make space for freedom, because when passionate people get free, the whole world feels it. Decide right now that you will use your brilliant, amazing mind to create powerful, transforming thoughts about your life, about your business, about your role in helping people. You create everything in your mind first. Are you thinking thoughts that light your own soul on fire? You are creating your life and business every day in your mind first. Do those thoughts nourish you? Do they motivate you? Do they reflect back to you who and what you want to become? The thoughts you're thinking today in your business, you will see the results of it in a few months. And you'll want to blame other things. You'll want to blame corporate, and you'll want to blame the market, and you'll want to blame the recession. But I'm going to tell you something. Your mind is way more powerful than that. And when you decide what you want to create, and you begin practicing the belief, and you begin acting on that belief, things around you will change. So, we've got all of this mental retraining, which is amazing and powerful, but the real magic comes when that mind power reaches your heart. Number 2 is unleash the gift of your powerful presence, or in the South, as we would say, get your heart right. Maya Angelou has a famous quote that says, "People will forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they never will forget how you made them feel." Renewing your mind is even more powerful than you can imagine, because your thoughts create your emotions. And your emotions are everything. Your energy is palpable in every room you enter, every post you write on social media, every interaction you have here at convention. Your emotional presence is the truest thing about you. It doesn't lie, because it tells us what your belief is. It tells us what you've been focusing on. It's the most powerful asset you have when you decide on purpose how you want to show up and who you want to be in the world. Now, as a physician, here's what I can tell you. Your body is the most powerful pharmacy on earth. It really is. In a split second, you think a thought, your body will make a cocktail of molecules that will match the thought in your brain in an instant. You want to make resentment? Just start thinking thoughts of resentment, and your body goes, "Oh, I know how to make resentment. I've made it for you a lot, actually, over the years." And your body will make resentment. You want your body to make anxiety? It'll make it for you in a split second. The thing we fail to realize is the person who gets to live in the cocktail of resentment and despair and disappointment and sadness is who? Not the person you're mad at, you. So to illustrate this, close your eyes really quick. I want you to think of a time when you felt so much love. I am 2 weeks away from my second grandbaby, and when I close my eyes and I think about being there for the birth of my first grandbaby, it was so magical. And just like that, I don't have to even be there with him in the room. Just the thought of him, my body knows what to do. It makes love and gratitude and joy and delight. You can open your eyes. Your body is the most powerful pharmacy on earth, and it makes what you tell it to make. And when you tell it to make emotions like love and delight and gratitude and joy and peace, the science shows that your cells respond to that by healing you and repairing your cells and your DNA. When I said the most powerful pharmacy, it's true. When you make oxytocin and serotonin and you make that cocktail of molecules in your own body, you become the most powerful pharmacy. But you know what we like to make instead of that? Would anybody like to yell out some of the emotions maybe you've made this week for yourself? What is that? Yeah, irritation, frustration, comparison, disappointment, despair, greed, so many things that we make when any time you want to, you can make molecules that literally heal you. You don't have to wait for a doctor to prescribe them. You can just make it in your own body. So when you think thoughts that cause you to feel love for yourself, love for your business, love for your customers, love for your clients, love for this incredible company, love for your upline, love for your downline, guess who gets to live in that cocktail first? You do! And it heals you and nourishes you. Don't you love the feeling that you've had here this week? Did you know that next week you can keep making it over and over again? But instead, we think we have to make stress and overwhelm and disappointment and fear and doubt and anger and frustration. And our bodies are so good at making that because we make it over and over and over again that we get stuck in cycles of negative emotions. And you know what negative emotions do to your body? Not heal it. Causes you to be weak and sick. And you know what it does to your business? Causes your business to be weak and sick. And we've trained ourselves to those emotions so often that so many of us live in a constant state of negative, harmful emotions. It's become the habitual way that we are in the world. And this way of living and this way of being will not grow a healthy body, and it won't grow a healthy life, and it won't grow a healthy business. And let me tell you something, when you try to market from that emotional state, it doesn't work either, because people aren't buying products, they're buying you. And when you use the most powerful pharmacy on earth to create more love in the world and more joy and more fun and more delight, you draw people to you. It's inevitable. They want to be around you. They want to be in the room with you. They want to feel that too, and most people don't know how. So if you want to grow your business, grow your capacity to experience the emotions that heal us. People will want what you have. They will sense that there's something different about you. They will sense your authenticity and your love. And nobody is telling you how many of these amazing healing molecules you can make. They're completely free. And you are completely free to make as many of them as you want. But most of us spend 98% of our time complaining and finding every possible reason not to feel these emotions. Let me tell you something important. You were created, your body was designed from love, to love, for love, and it operates best on a cellular level when you create the emotions of love and joy and peace and gratitude. You are your truest self when you're expressing and living in these emotions. It's the deepest truth of who you are and how you were made. And when you decide to take your thoughts captive and you decide to think and believe that you are the creator of the most incredible experiences and the most nourishing environments, you are tapping into a power that is unmatched. Your powerful, nurturing, loving presence becomes a gift to everyone around you. You become a gift to every space you enter. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to practice this for the rest of the day and just see if I'm right. I dare you, I double dog dare you to create more love for the rest of the day today than you've created all week. Now, one way that I love to do this is I just love to find people and tell them what I love about them. And that helps me feel more love. I like to text people. It's funny because as I was flying here, I don't love to fly. Sometimes I'm okay when I'm flying, but I have these weird habits where I make the sign of the cross over my heart and douse frankincense and send last will and testament texts to my children. So you don't have to send last will and testament texts, but my kids are always like, "Are you on an airplane?" Yes. Yes, I am. But I dare you to think the highest, most loving thoughts that you can think and watch what happens in your actual body. You are nothing short of a living, breathing, walking miracle, and you are powerful beyond belief. Do this for the rest of the day, and you will feel so much hope. You will feel so connected to the people around you. You will feel yourself come alive. You will start living and thinking and being with more purpose in the world. You are the creator of the most nourishing life. And you will begin to see evidence of that when you begin to live this way on purpose more times than not. And your business will benefit because now you will be creating a business that's full of love and hope and gratitude and joy. And your warmth and your creative energy and your nurturing presence will be a healing balm to those who get to live in your light, to everybody who experiences you in the marketplace. When you consistently show up this way, I promise you, you will watch miracles unfold. You will stop blaming other people. You will stop blaming circumstances, and you will get to work building the dream of your heart because you will have trained yourself that it's inevitable. Ask yourself this question: who will I need to become to live as my highest, truest, most powerful, most loving, most nurturing self? Our products and our opportunity are amazing, you guys. Remember, I retired my medical license for them, but the real magic is you. You are what they're buying. Your love, your energy, your commitment, your belief, your heart. When you live this way, your presence heals us. And nobody knew this more than Gary Young. I was lucky enough to meet Gary a handful of times. And I always imagined what I would say if I ever met him. And then I met him and cried like a baby and just said, "Thank you. I don't know what else to say." But he was genuinely filled with so much love and care and compassion, and you could feel it. It's like it oozed out of his pores. He knew the transforming power of emotions. He knew it was everything. And he designed products to help us do it. So when you feel like you're struggling, get your oils. Listen, you guys, when I smelled OG Valor this week, I got big old giant tears in my eyes. We have oils that help us do this. You don't need to be a visionary. You don't need to be just like your crown diamond. You don't need to be anybody else. We need you. There's no other company that has what we have. We have the most amazing products. But I'm going to tell you something. When I walk through these halls and I see each and every one of you, I agree with Ben that there's nobody who has these people, you and your big, beautiful heart full of love and compassion for the people you serve. We've never needed you more. I have a motto that I use with my coaching clients, and it's like anonymously written, but I love this quote. To love someone is to see all their magic and to remind them of it when they have forgotten. So this is your reminder. Be more you. Be more vulnerable. Be more authentic. Be more fun. I'll see you at Club Red later. We'll line dance. Be more willing to grow. Be quicker to tears. Be quicker to laugh. Slower to get angry. Ready to serve. You are the medicine. that this world needs. Stop blaming, stop hiding, stop making excuses, and be the healing in the world you were created to be. Okay, so we have your head right, and we have your heart right, and now all you gotta do is go tell your story. Your story is your superpower. We are wired for story. Our brains think in stories. When you hear a good story, your body releases oxytocin. Stories connect us and remind us that we're all going to be okay. When we can see ourselves in someone else's story, we feel less alone. We feel a powerful connection. And guess what most of us have stopped doing in the last few years? Sharing our stories. We've lost our boldness. We got gun shy. We've lost our voices. We stopped being courageous. We stopped going all in. We stopped taking risks. And it's time to get back to it. I live near Knoxville, Tennessee, and I've lived there my entire life. And thank you, all you East Tennessee girls. And my whole life, I've been seeing signs like this one right here. Anybody ever see these signs driving through the South? See Ruby Falls. I've been seeing these since I was a little girl. Ruby Falls has the same antiquated marketing they've had for 100 years. This is their marketing plan, by the way. This is it. I looked it up. This is their marketing plan. They developed this plan in the early 1900s. Hey, in order to get people to come to Ruby Falls, we'll just paint it on signs, and then people will be kind of curious, and they'll come to Ruby Falls. So it finally got the best of me, and my sister and I decided to go to Chattanooga to Lookout Mountain to see what all the fuss was about. Well, first of all, anybody, by the way, been to Ruby Falls? No, you haven't, because you wouldn't be wooing. Okay, first of all, nobody mentioned that you had to get in an oxygen-deprived elevator and descend 400 feet straight into a mountain. That would have been helpful to know before we scheduled the trip. And when we paid our $15 for the gentle walking tour, nobody mentioned that we'd be underground navigating narrow, crowded walkways with other people crazy enough to go to the middle of a mountain. And I was new to my oils journey when we went on this trip, and I am very claustrophobic. I should have read about Ruby Falls before we went. So I had like a crossbody purse on, and I just started dousing myself in frankincense. And all my daughters and my sister's daughters were all above, and I just started feeling worse and worse, and then I started panic sweating. And then, I don't know, I just suddenly was like crawling on the cave floor. And my sister finally realized that I wasn't with the group anymore. So she turned, my sister's here, by the way. She's the one who always has our key and knows what room we're supposed to be in. So she turns around in Ruby Falls, and guess what the first thing she did was? No, she got out her phone and took the picture of me crawling around in Ruby Falls. And I don't know, something about it, I was literally panicking, and I started laughing so hard, and then I was crying laughing, and it finally sort of dissolved the situation enough where I could walk to the waterfall. And when I say waterfall, that is a gross exaggeration for what we saw. Also, this is a gross exaggeration for what we saw. You guys, here's what we saw. After all of that trauma and terror, literally, Ruby Falls, you can't get closer to it than like here to the back of the room, and you have to kind of squint to see it. And it's not a waterfall, it's like a little drip, and it's got a strobe light on it to make it seem more fantastic than it is. Never go to Ruby Falls. So I know you're thinking, like, what does this have to do with our Young Living business? Well, let me tell you. There was a guy named Clark Byers who came up with this marketing plan for Ruby Falls. And he's like, East Tennesseans love their barns and they love their back roads. So let's just paint these signs on barns in back roads, and that'll get people to come to Ruby Falls. And you might think, well, that's a crazy, outdated marketing plan, right? Except you know what? Thousands and thousands of people like me look at that sign and do what it says and go to Ruby Falls. And although my actual visit to Ruby Falls was traumatic and disappointing, I'm a good Tennessean, and I'm so glad that I can say I've been to Ruby Falls. And there's something about that sign that's more than a sign. That sign connects to something that's important to me. That sign reminds me what I love. I love old barns, and I love country back roads. It's a nod to a way of life, right? It's simpler. Like, who does marketing like that anymore? We love the farmers who built these barns, and we love our incredible state. So their outdated marketing works beautifully because they tell a story. And the story resonates. Not because the marketing is cutting edge, but because we're moved by a message and a story that's full of heart. Like, that guy actually painted 900 barns in Tennessee by himself. And he died years ago, but his message is compelling thousands of people every day to go to the oxygen-deprived Ruby Falls and see the strobe light with the drip of water. Now listen, what you have in Young Living is so powerful. You have an incredible story. You guys, if I could tell you my story right now, you wouldn't even believe me. I tried to sneak it through this talk on conduct, and they caught every word of it and took it out. It's fine. But if I could tell you my own personal story with our products, you wouldn't believe me. It's incredible. I have such a powerful story, and so do you. You have a story that people need to hear. Sometimes, I'm so far removed from my original story now that sometimes people look at me and go, it must be nice to be you, must be nice to be a Crown Diamond, must be nice to whatever. No, you don't know where I have come from unless I tell you. And when you tell people your story, they can see themselves in it. And they feel less alone, and they trust you. And what you're saying feels like home to them. Because you and your unique story and your unique way of seeing the world and your unique way of interacting with our products and with the business, that's what attracts us. That's what draws us in. And that's what helps us all become more of who we were created to be. Good marketing reminds us who we are. It's not a bottle of Frank that by itself makes essential oils irresistible. Listen, I love frankincense. I take it every morning in a capsule. There's not enough frankincense in the free world to get me through Ruby Falls again. But your stories with the product are so powerful. Start telling them again. I'm good at selling oils because I share my story. I share my authentic life. I share my unique way of seeing the world, my unique way of seeing health and wellness with a passion that only I can. I've told my health story hundreds of times. And not only does it help the person I'm sharing it with, it still helps me. It reinforces my belief in what I'm doing. So the truth is, we have plenty of reasons to feel defeated and distracted and down in the past few years. My question is, do we want to stay there? Because I don't. I want to set this world on fire with the gifts I've been given. So let's decide that when other people are caught up in the drama, we will remember what got us here. We will tell our stories. We will find our fire again. We will paint our own words loud and proud for everybody to see. What I've learned about creating a life and business I love is that there's so much power in you, in your beautiful mind, in your beautiful heart. Those thoughts that you think every day turn into reality. They become things. They build walls or they build connection. They build a life you love and a business you love, or they tear it down. So choose them with great care. I ask myself all the time, what would the highest version of me do right now? What would she think? What would she say? I want her to show up to my life, to my marketing. Your experience of your life and your business, listen closely to this, can never be better than the way you think about it. Your experience of your life and your business can never be better than the way you think about it. Are you thinking thoughts that have you showing up as your most loving, powerful, adventurous, joyful self? What do those words point people toward that you think all the time? Just like those Ruby Falls barn signs, you're sending a message. But is it a message that tells a compelling story? Is it a message that lights your own soul on fire? The answer to that for most of us in the last few years, unfortunately, has been no. And we think we don't have a choice, but you always have a choice. The answer is not to be mean to ourselves or shame ourselves for what we've been through. The answer is to be more curious and compassionate with ourselves, to ask ourselves, now, how do I want to show up in the world? Now, how do I want to show up to my business? A while back, I love journaling, and a while back, I journaled for almost an hour, and I'm going to read you a little part of what I wrote. This is how I practice my own thinking. This is how I practice what I want to think and believe about myself and my life. And I highly recommend that as you're training yourself into a better, higher way of being in the world, that you do the same. I'm training myself to always see the miracles around me. I am ready to be delighted. I'm ready to be in awe of my life every day. And by doing this, I make everything around me better, more joyful. I see the goodness of God everywhere. I shine His light in the darkest of places. I choose to see people at their best as they could be, including myself and my family and my potential customers. I am loyal and loving and full of fire, and my zest for life is contagious. I create amazing, fulfilling relationships in my life and business, and I love the way I get to use my gifts and serve the people around me. Now, that is the intention that I set for myself, for my business and my life. And want to know what the magic is? That's how I experience my life and my business. It doesn't mean life isn't hard. It means it will be hard. Things will fall apart. People will leave. There will be loss. So I'm making myself ready and more resilient. I'm showing up as a warrior to my life, not as a victim. I'm taking charge of the parts I can, making a beautiful story out of it despite all the tragedy that life sometimes brings. It means I stop comparing my journey and my business to someone else. I stop being so critical of myself, and I stop being so critical of my downline and my upline and corporate and the people who live in my house and random people on the internet, all of it. I decide that I am in charge of what I create, and what I want to create is love and joy and goodness and beauty. It turns out that the small payoff from hiding and staying small is a flimsy substitute for the soul-nourishing fire that comes from knowing you are doing what you were created to do, knowing that you are helping the people you were meant to help. And when you align your powerful mind with your passionate heart and your unique story, you are a force to be reckoned with in this world. It frees you up to focus on your future customers and clients without worrying about yourself, without worrying about what other people might think or who might reject you. You can show up fully for the person you've been called to help. You can become the servant leader you were created to be, because leaders are made in the fire. The staying small and the blaming and the shaming and the holding yourself back stops today. If barn marketing is alive and well, write these words on your heart. We are just getting started. Rise up and lead with your powerful mind, your beautiful heart, your unique story. You are pure magic, my friend. And this is your friendly reminder. Thank you.
Right. That. I almost didn't want to come up on stage.